Good morning and welcome to route number 19 of my Wainwright challenge. Today I'm parked in Grasmere, the main car park in the middle, very expensive, £8 for the day. I'm intending to climb 7 Wainwrights today. It's first light and I suspect I'll be finishing with a head torch. I think it's going to be quite a long day. I'm going over Silver How, Blee Rig, Tarn Crag, Calf Crag, Steel Fell, Gibson's Knot and Helm Crag. So it's first light, as I say, and I need to get on with it. So I've just followed the lane out of Grasmere. I've come to a public footpath signpost, Chapel Style, 1.5 miles up this steep hill, which is the way we're going. So we're on the underside of Silver How. I'm just going to pan round. We've got Stan there with his best buddy Lenny. Lenny's joined us today for the walk. And I'm just panning round to give you a quick view of Grasmere in the valley bottom and the morning sun coming up over there. Isn't that fabulous? So there's a fork in the track, a 3-way fork. So we've got a track following the wall. We've got a track over there, and then we've got a track going right up to Silver How, which is what we're taking, up the steep section heading up into the scree by the looks of it. Time to get the trekking poles out, I think. I have to say, looking down there, that was quite a pull. Although luckily there's a bit of erosion control put in beside the scree, so you don't actually have to go up the scree. There's a man-made erosion control path running up the side of it. And I'm at the top of this section here now, and we're hanging a right, and we're going to head up to the top, up this bit of a crag to the top of Silver How. Here we go. So here we are. This is the top of Silver How. You can see Grasmere in the bottom. Still quite early in the morning. The sun's fighting its way up. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So we're following a very faint path over Brigstone Moor. We're going to head across to Blee Rig. As I say, there's quite a few sheep trods up here, so you've got to be mindful that there are a few sheep trods and not to follow the wrong one. So I'm following a series of these tarns. It's quite remote up here. Lots of sheep wandering round. Very pretty morning. It's been very undulating, I have to say, getting across this moor top, up and down various sheep trods. I'm on a path now which I believe will be the final ascent of Blee Rig. Probably 50 to 100 metres of ascent left. Very quiet today. I've not seen a soul all day so far. So that's the first view of Blee Rig, really. And in the background we've got the Langdales, the Langdale Pikes. That's fantastic. So here we are at the top of Blee Rig. It's a bit of a trek, very undulating. Blee Rig. I say Langdale Pikes over there. Awesome. I thought I'd do a quick pano at the top of Blee Rig. See how special the day is. Wow. The peak you can see in the distance is Sergeant Man. Now we're not going to Sergeant's Man. The plan is to head in that direction and kind of contour round. It's pathless. I'm going to contour round above Codale town without losing too much height to the other side of the valley. Well, that's the plan. We'll see how the terrain takes us. Very rough ground. So we're pathless at the minute. I'm just heading in the direction of Codale Head. If I can get up there through them crags up towards Codale Head, I'll skirt across the ridge and then drop back down, and I'll be back on track, and we'll be following the other side of the valley over there. Absolutely glorious day. So I'm just coming off of Codale Head, as you can see behind me. I'll pan round and just dropping down this ridge line now, and we're going to drop round to the next Wainwright, which is Calf Crag. So a bit of a descent. If you look down there, you can see a small tarn. Well, that's what I've been making a beeline for as I've dropped off this moor side. As I say, it's pathless, but I do know when I get to that tarn, I'll pick up a path which will take me to the next Wainwright. That's the first proper sighting really of Calf Crag. It's fantastic. So here we are, Calf Crag. What a wonderful backdrop that is. We've got Steel Fell over there, which we're doing next. Gibson's Knot, which is the one after that. You can see where we've come from. Over there. Very rocky, but it's pathless, that section. What a fantastic day. Hi Stanley. There's Lenny, he's just there behind. Hi Leonard. So that's Steel Fell over there where we're heading. Very cold today. Bitterly cold wind. This quite boggy, but the temperature's that cold, the bog is ice. So I'm able to skirt over the top of the icy bog, fortunately. The path has been following a line of fence posts for a while, but the fence posts stop there and become a real fence here. So still following a fence, should take us pretty much all the way to the top. So here we are, Steel Fell. Absolutely stunning day. Stunning. So they're the last two of the day over there. We've got to drop right down into the valley bottom though, and then back up to Gibson's Knot and Helm Crag. So a bit of descending to do now. So we're almost in the valley bottom. Just pan round, show you where we've come down from. So we've got to get across that stream you can see down there, and then we're going to head steeply up the other side. I can see various people following a footpath up to the Col, and then we'll hang a right up to Gibson's Knot, back to the Col, and then up there to Helm Crag, then down the other side back to Grasmere. That's the plan. So I got to the footbridge at the valley bottom and panning up. It's quite a steep zigzaggy climb up to the Col. That's what we're about to do next. So I'm at the Col between Helm Crag, as you can see there, and Gibson Knot, which is up there. So I'm going to go up to Gibson Knot, retrace my steps back to this Col, then over Helm Crag, and then down the other side and back to the car. So we're trying to establish the high point on Gibson's Knot. I think, looking over here, there's a cairn. They all look similar sort of height. I thought it was highest point here, but I'm going to go over to that cairn over there just to make sure I've bagged it. So here we are, Gibson's Knot. Had a good day, Lenny. Good boy. Stan's enjoyed it as well. So I need to show you something. Over there is Tarn Crag. Now I'd intended bagging that today, and unwittingly got lured into the into the higher climbs. Changed my route to get a view of the Langdale Pikes and missed out Tarn Crag accidentally. So there you go. So I'm gonna have to do Tarn Crag another day, because I'm retracing my steps now, going over Helm Crag and dropping down into Grasmere. Last one of the day, Helm Crag, heading back down to the Cull. Yeah, fabulous day, very cold, blue sky, beautiful January day. I think Len's a bit tired. He's been following me now for probably the last hour. He's not been ahead at all. Been a good day. Wow, Helm Crag. So looks like I've got a bit of scrambling to do to get to the top. Let's go for it. Just saying, I found it easier up this side. I couldn't get up the other side, but I've managed to get up that side there. Very difficult when you got a dog beside you trying to climb up at the same time. So this is another one of those. Is that the top there? So that's where I've just been, and as I'm coming along I can't now decide whether this one looks higher. Oh god. Right, I better go up this one as well just to make sure. So I'm at the top, or the second top should I say. I think the other one was higher than this one looking back, but you can never tell, can you? This one was easy to get up though. Right, head down that path, head to the valley bottom. So we followed quite a steep path, erosion control path off Helm Crag, right the way down to the lanes at the bottom. So we're on the lane now and we're going to follow it all the way into Grasmere. Beautiful day out. Hi, welcome to route 19, I'm going to call it 19A of my Wainwright challenge. Today is Thursday the 20th of January and I parked in Grasmere and it cost me £8 for the day. Now the reason I'm calling it 19A is I very foolishly missed out one of my intended Wainwrights today. It was Tarn Crag that I intended to bag as my third Wainwright, and I had a senior moment and I decided to change my route halfway round, and in doing so inadvertently missed this one. So there you go. Okay, very straightforward on the main. A decent path out of Grasmere. Nice steady gradient for the first half of the climb until you get to the three-way fork in the path, whereby you turn right and head up a very steep scree slope. However, there is a erosion control path going all the way up, so the gradient is very steep, but the scree doesn't come into play, so it's not too bad. And then it becomes kind of pathless at the top and you've got to work your way to the top of Silver How. Great views. Actually, the great views all the way up of Grasmere. Early morning light, it was long shadows. It was very picturesque. From Silver How, you can see all the way across towards Bleerig. And you kind of got to navigate yourself across Brigstone Moss. There's various tarns, sheep trods, you know, little rocky undulating sections Now you got to find your way around. So you just need your wits about you. But eventually you will get to Bleerig, and it's a very rocky part of the walk. So you got to navigate around various crags and whatnot until you get to Bleerig itself, which is absolutely breathtaking. So you've got all the Langdale Pikes in the background. You can see Harrison Pike. You've got a view of Jake's Rake. Yeah, it was quite exciting when you're there, and I think possibly that's why I got carried away in the moment. That's where I had my senior moment, and I decided to change my route and head up towards Sergeant's Man. The last time I was up there, I was in Cloud and didn't get to see anything. I just thought, why not? I could maybe head up that way and cut across to Codale Head, which I did. Absolutely great. I followed a track up towards Sergeant's Man most of the way, and then I headed off-piste, if you like. I was pathless, headed up to Codale Head, and I was pretty much pathless all the way back down to Calf Crag. Absolutely great way to do it. However, I had intended, and I'd changed my mind, to drop down to Easdale Tarn from Bleerig and then skirt round it and climb up to Tarn Crag. No idea why I made the decision not to do that. Calf Crag itself, once you're there, great summit. That's the first time I actually saw anybody today. It's quite a popular one, and you can see you can see across to Steel Fell, so you can see kind of where you're going next, and you can actually see the logical thing is actually to stick on that ridge line and go to the last two of the day. Gibson's Knot, but because I was wanting to get Steel Fell in, it's kind of illogical, but you've got to from there cross a very, very, very boggy path down to a tarn, and then you got to climb back up to Steel Fell. Now, luckily it was extremely cold and all the bog was frozen over, so I didn't really get to suffer too much with the bog. It was so cold today. It was so cold. Once you get across the bog and you start climbing up to Steel Fell, you'll notice a line of fence posts which eventually give way to a fence itself, which pretty much takes you to the very, very, very top of Steel Fell. And from there you can see across to Gibson's Knot and Helm Crag, the last two of the day. It's a very, very steep descent into the valley bottom. There is a bridge at the valley bottom, followed by a very, very steep climb up to the col. However, it's made it much easier because it's a well-walked climb and the path zigzags, quite big zigs and zags, all the way to the top of the col. So it does take the gradient away. Once at the col, it's dead straightforward. You hang a right. It's a bit scrambly, a bit craggy, all the way up to Gibson's Knot. Gibson's Knot has got a cairn at the top, and absolutely fabulous vista looking at all the peaks that you've done today, and indeed the one that we didn't do but should have done. Retrace your steps back to the col, and you actually finish with probably the high point in terms of in terms of climbing, in the high point of the day in terms of difficulty. Helm Crag is a very, very difficult scramble at the top. Now, if you've got vertigo, I strongly suggest you don't go up. Indeed, there's some red roses there, which I'm sure was left for somebody who met their demise there. Initially I tried to climb the left hand side and I couldn't get up the side of the rock, so I went around the right hand side and I managed to get and touch the top. Now I didn't stand on the top because I was having all sorts of issues with Stan beside me, who was also trying to, believe it or not, trying to scramble to the top as well. I'm not sure I could have stood at the top with my vertigo either. But anyway, nevertheless, I did touch the top and I went up the right hand side, which I felt was an easier scramble. The walk down is very, very, very steep. You follow some erosion control all the way down to the valley bottom, and then you pretty much follow a tarmac road back into the car park at Grasmere. This route was 13.5 miles. It took me 7 hours, and there was 3,855 feet of ascent. And I have to say it was a really, really good route. I mean, there's quite a lot of pathless sections, so if you're good at navigating, it's really, really good to do. Lots of ups and downs, some fabulous scenery. Thoroughly enjoyed the day.